Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a corporation bought a property that is very near and dear to the hearts of geeks and nerds everywhere. Some of what they've done is good, some not so much. Either way, it's still all about the Skywalkers. And that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. I am your guild master, Rick Perry, and I dual wield orange and yellow lightsabers.
And I am Baron Kane, and it's all purple for me, baby.
A man after my own heart. Dual-bladed perps on me, bro. I love them.
And as you can hear, joining us again is our guild member. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Grizz back on the pod again. These guys keep inviting me. I just can't turn them down.
Wait, did we invite him?
He just kind of shows up.
Yeah, I forced my way in.
Oh.
Dude just shows up in his bear form, kicks down the guild hall doors, and then like shifts back to his human form. It's like, "What's up, motherfuckers?"
What up?
I played enough Skyrim to know that not to really fight back at that point.
Dude, the first time I played Skyrim, I saw a bear and I was like, "Oh, I want him to make me my friend," and then he quickly ended that dream, and I was like, "Oh,
before we get too far in, I was in a bar and 3 werebears kicked in the door and killed everybody in the bar.
Whoa!
I don't know if that's normal. I don't know why that happened, but I just.
Well, I'll tell you what. I being a full, transmorph bear myself, the werebears are like cousins, so I don't have too much contact with that side. So I'm sorry about that. That's terrible that happened to you.
I don't judge the whole lycanthrope spectrum.
Oh, okay. Chill.
All right, so in case you didn't look at what you clicked on or didn't listen to the intro, we are talking about Star Wars.
I'm sure there's werebears in Star Wars. You don't know.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely somewhere. So last time we started this thing off with what was your first exposure to Star Wars. So we've gone over that. Let's just give a little talk about what we've been watching when it comes to Star Wars between this episode and last episode, which, let's be honest, that's going to be season 2 of The Mandalorian for all of us, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that is included on the list, absolutely.
So what'd we think? Mandalorian. We talked a little bit of this about episode 1, season 2, but let's deep dive.
Well, I'll tell you what. I said it last time, and I'll say it again. And I don't even think that it's all that controversial, so I'm not going to be so aggro about it. But Mandalorian is still like the most Star Wars thing to be Star Wars in probably ever. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I feel like the second season, it kept the like foot on the gas. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't let up. It didn't suffer from, like, okay, look at Stranger Things. I'm not saying that the second season was bad, but even a popular series like that, you have these dips that occur, a lot of time, whether it's filling story or, all this other jazz. And like Mandalorian just continues to not miss a beat. For me personally, anyway.
No, completely agree.
I loved Mandalorian every second, all the way up until Luke Skywalker showed his pretty CGI face.
Now, okay, I had a oh god, I'm losing the word. Nostalgia tear up, if you will, because I was just like, oh my god, when I saw that X-Wing, I knew. I was like, oh my god. Oh, I reached over to my wife. I was like, Katie, it's happening. And
X-wing, green lightsaber, black glove, like we all know.
Yeah, we did. It was very spelled out, but man, was it awesome. And it really kind of helps you pace the timeline of where we are currently, because I mean, at least from what I've like experienced with the show and stuff like that, I haven't gone too deep into it. I try not to over saturate myself on outside sources with stuff that I care about series wise, because I don't want to potentially open myself for the, you know, spoilers and outside opinion to, you know, like it ruins something that I think is cool or something. Not that I'm influenced by it, but it's like, you know, if I don't think it's a problem, then why do I want to read somebody else bitch about it? But I mean, ultimately, it's just, I don't know, man. It's very very good. It's very very Star Wars, and I just love it so much. Who could be mad at Grogu? And that's another thing. Like I think we just called him Baby Yoda last, you know, season.
There's a hand raised.
I can be mad at that little dick.
Oh wait, okay. Is it about the frog people thing?
The whole beginning of that series, he was killing me. Well, just the eggs, but you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, in a like a, I get it from a show standpoint that it's like it's a humorous thing to do because he's a baby. He doesn't. I mean, even as his undefined species, they call him Tridarians, I think, because they have 3 fingers or something like that.
Right.
I think is like the most commonly referenceable race that they have. But yeah, but you know, even at 40, he's obviously still an infant for their race, and so it's one of those things. Like he doesn't have the wherewithal to know that, like, oh, these people's like life force, that they're one of the last hopes for their race, and like I'm kind of eating into the chances of their survival because I want a spaghetti snack. You know what I'm saying? Like nom nom eggs, yummy, froggy side up.
All right. I was definitely going to sit back and let you finish, talk about how much you love The Mandalorian.
Okay, yes.
And let me tell you, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. It's one of the last things I want to do. But I had a very big problem when Luke showed up.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like,
I will agree with you to that point. I will.
What problem, though?
Okay.
The point that everything is about the Skywalkers.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about this in episode 1, but like I've seen enough of the Skywalkers. The Skywalker saga is over. Like, we've seen Luke's story, we've seen Anakin's story, we've seen Rey's story, who I guess is a Skywalker now, because you can't have Star Wars without a Skywalker, apparently. Like, there are so
bullshit. The best Star Wars is saying Skywalker.
Look, Kathleen, the problem here is Luke needed a chance to redeem himself. And if this episode is really all he's going to get in a way to redeem himself, I'm fine. Let's go ahead and move the saga on. You know what I mean? Let's just move the saga on to another direction. But after the sequel trilogy, he needed some redemption, I think.
I can see that.
If this is the last we see of him, or at least the last big thing we see of him, then I will absolutely agree with you, and I will take back everything I've said and probably about to say. But if they continue to shove the Skywalkers into every property, like if we see them, you know, we're going to see him in Kenobi when they do the Kenobi thing. We're gonna get some Anakin. You know we are. Like,
you're right. We are.
You know we're gonna see some Anakin. Like, you know, if they continue to shove the Skywalkers in everything, then it's just gonna back up what I'm saying right now, and I will take none of it back at that point. Like, there are so many cool fucking Jedis, and the whole thing behind The Mandalorian, okay, in my opinion, they have taken the expanded universe and they scrapped it. They said
Which was
none
the
of this.
worst thing that they could do.
Right. They started the Mandalorian and they start creating their own expanded universe. They're like, this is our canon. We are expanding the universe of Star Wars, right? So not only do you have a bunch of different badass Jedi that you could have had show up and do the exact same thing Luke just did, which, in my opinion, should have been Cal Kestis, but, you know.
That was a running theory I was holding out hope for so long, because I did play that game 5 times since last year when we did the episode 1 for the pod.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Cal.
But they could have done a whole new fucking Jedi. They could have been like, here's some motherfucker you've never heard of before. Fuck all your theories. We made a new character. This is new badass Jedi. This is what the series is going to be about from now on, is new badass Jedi, Grogu, fucking team of fucking Mandalorians. Like, come on.
Are you okay?
No.
I think he had some shit he had to get off his chest, dude.
Look,
I felt like I was at an awkward Thanksgiving dinner there for like a second.
This was like, hallelujah.
Season 2 is all about Guildmaster Rick getting his rants off his chest. This is season 2.
It's fucking like, all right, this is gonna be like, all right, Rick, get ready, because you're gonna want to like mark this timestamp down. You're gonna want to drop of this, all right?
Uh-huh.
It's fucking Rick's hot take. Shit you don't care about, but now you do.
Guildmaster Slam.
Guildmaster Apocalypse.
We're gonna have to have a whole you know what grinds my gears segment just for Rick.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like let's be real. I mean, like,
I'll
pretty much.
You know what really grinds my Gamorreans?
Like, I mean, like, I let Skyward Sword have it this season.
Oh my god, Skyward Sword is my favorite because of double hook shot. That shit killed me. I was like, I never thought of it that way, but it's like they just add. They're like, they love the one. They gotta fuck. Dual wielding is the shit in 2012 or whatever. So, but yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, not to continue to beat a dead horse, but like really, there's just so many things they could have done with that final scene, and so many characters they could have put it in, and so many directions they could have taken it. The Skywalker thing just upset me. You know,
I can
obvious
respect that.
at this point.
I can respect that.
Let me back you up, okay?
Ruh-roh.
I will say this. I did like the Luke scene. I did appreciate him getting a hallway scene, just like Daddy. However,
I will say, hold on, before you say your thing, I will say, I'm only ranting this hard because everybody is already singing singing the scene's praises, and it doesn't need me on top of it. The scene was cool as fuck, and I appreciate some Luke coolness just as much as anybody else. But I was just very disappointed with what could have been.
But that could have been any Jedi walking through that hallway.
Yeah.
Right. It could have been. However, I will say this. You're saying they could have taken any Jedi and thrown him in there. I will make the argument that the first season of The Mandalorian proved that you don't even need a Jedi.
Yeah.
That is a very fair point.
I've always been of the mind that Star Wars is about the Jedi. You know what I mean? If you don't have the Jedi in there, what's the point? But The Mandalorian changed my mind on that because they did their show so well that you could see it was still Star Wars and there was not a Jedi in sight. What, the first Jedi?
Check this out. Now that you've said that, let me pitch a scene at you for that last hallway scene. Because you're right, it didn't need to be a Jedi. It needed to be someone Force sensitive. Because Grogu called out to them or whatever, right? But it did not need to be a Jedi, right?
Sure.
So, not necessarily an X-Wing, but it could be an X-Wing. A ship pulls up. The guy gets out of the ship, he's got that same black robe, right? A gloved hand reaches for a lightsaber on the belt, but then keeps going past the lightsaber and grabs a blaster. We see the lightsaber on the belt, but he grabs the blaster and starts blasting away, right? We get that same badass scene where they're taking out all the dark troopers, but like they're doing it with a blaster instead of with a lightsaber. And then we get another cool character, someone who, like the female in Fallen Order, I forget what her name was, who was running around with Tarkassus, where she's still force sensitive, but she has kind of resigned to not be a Jedi anymore.
I know who you mean. I mean, I can see the actress in my mind right now.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm awful with names. I can't recall.
So someone just like that, who maybe was a Jedi, but is no longer a Jedi, so they're still force sensitive. Or maybe someone's who force sensitive and was never a Jedi. Maybe they got that lightsaber off of somebody they killed or something like that. Maybe an Inquisitor they took out.
Okay.
But like to your point, you're right. It didn't have to be a Jedi. It would have had to be somebody force sensitive, but that would have been a real badass fake out where they're like, oh, it's going to be this awesome Jedi. And then, nope, it's not a Jedi at all. It's somebody who's force sensitive. It can maybe show Grogu how to use his force powers a little bit, but not a Jedi.
You know, it's that interesting you say cool. That. I mean, I agree. That would have been a really cool way to do that hallway scene. But it is interesting, that specific instance. I feel like it may have at one point been on the table, because recall mid-season when they did it with or even earlier season where they did it with Boba Fett. You know, you come in, you see the armor, and it's Timothy Ophelion under the hood, as it were, and you're like, oh shit, I thought this was just gonna be like Boba Fett. And then they pull that later on where Boba's like, give me my fucking armor, I know you have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, maybe they feel like maybe they had that idea but repurposed it there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of think knowing the people involved in the show and knowing the characters that have been introduced, I almost think that the person showing up probably would have been closer to an Ezra Bridger reveal. But I think Disney and Lucasfilm pushed for it to be Luke.
I think Ezra would have been a much cooler choice. I think Ezra would have been a much cooler choice. What if the little fucking ghost had pulled up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would be. I mean, Ahsoka is an adult, so he would probably be mid-20s by that point, at least, right?
I'm trying to remember the timeline, but it's good that they didn't do that though, because now they're doing this whole expanded universe thing, and now they can use the search for Ezra as a as a thing, and they're probably going to find him on the planet, and he's died, but he's come back to life, and now he's linked to the wait, is this Spock? Yeah, I was thinking search for Spock, but anyways.
You just pulled the immoral. What did you mix Star Trek for Star Wars?
Yeah.
How blasphemous! You're gonna have to cut this shit, Rick. Otherwise, you can just this.
Oh no, I'm keeping it in. Let's get the nerd range. Let's get the nerd range.
I'm just fucking. We're all about. I think we even talked about last time how it's really cool that we've had a culture shift that it's not bad to be a nerd or whatever anymore. I think it's dope that we've evolved to that point. Still got a lot of evolving to do, obviously, in other things, but at least there's that, right?
No, nerd culture is getting a little bit better every day.
Yeah.
But, it's just with all these shows and things like that, I think Disney was taking a page out of Marvel's book for Star Wars, where we were going to get, here's the Mandalorian. We're introducing some characters here. Here's the Ahsoka series. We're introducing some characters here.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the Bad Batch, and we're introducing some characters here. And then we were going to get our great big Avengers-esque movie where they all come together and, Mando's in some shit, and all of a sudden, camera pans over, and there's like a 3-fingered green claw, and Grogu comes to save his ass, and it just would have been really.
The
and now
turns to look at the Mando, and he's like, "Mando, I don't feel so good. I have spoken." And then he just
but like with them throwing Skywalker at the end of the Mandalorian and Grogu going with Skywalker, that means if they were to do that, then most likely Skywalker would be a part of that. And it's like you really could have gone in a different direction.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. I made the argument. Well, I've been making the argument for as long as I can recall, I guess, but I think I spoke about it probably in length last episode. So I'll just leave it with this. But I like, as a religious belief, hold that the expanded universe was the best, for me, the best part of Star Wars. And when it really sucked for me when they did that, because I felt like I was like, well, like the thing that makes me love Star Wars the most is like, it's like, sure, they can do whatever they want with it now, and that's like what I'm hoping for, and I'm interested to see how they do it or take it in different ways and things like that. But ultimately, I really want those kind of things. Like Revan and Malik was such a cool story, and like feeding into your point, my love for the expanded universe, and like prior to the Mandalorian Wars or even the Mandalorian Wars, it's a lot of things that don't involve a particular lineage within force sensitive, people, or it's all about just different, Jedi or force sensitives, the Sith. The struggles are all familiar because it's still, light side versus dark side and things like that. But it's got such an opportunity for a much wider breadth or variety of character, and it makes for a much more interesting and compelling narrative, in my opinion.
Right.
And I've always loved that about, the expanded universe specifically. But again, I'm holding out hope for what they can do. And I have to say, I don't know if it's a failing on my part, or that, Rick, you're a fucking genius, but how did I never see Disney, Marvel, and fucking, like, how did I never see Avengers style thing coming, like all building up shows and movies? Like, holy fuck, we've seen that formula before, and by these same assholes. Like, what?
Yep.
It's not that large of a fucking leap.
By the man that started that whole.
Yeah.
I know, Kevin fucking Feige. Oh my god, I love that man.
Jon Favreau.
Or that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. I told you. I said like 5-10 minutes ago.
Kevin Feige is deeply involved. Kevin Feige is deeply involved.
But who I did mean was Jon Favreau. You're right.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I think that's what they're doing and what's happening. That, and honestly, because 10 minutes, let's go ahead and get into this, because 10 minutes before we started this podcast, I look up the list of all the Star Wars projects that are coming out, and holy shit, it is way more than I thought it would be. Starting with May the 4th, because of course May the 4th. On Disney Plus, we're getting the Bad Batch.
See, that's what I mean. I'm gonna watch the Bad Batch, but I'm less excited for it than I am anything else.
I think the people who are super into the Clone Wars are gonna really like the Bad Batch, because I mean these are characters from the Clone Wars, and it's another animated series in the style of Clone Wars. Like, if you were watching the Clone Wars, and even though you've watched, like, they've gotten like 2 more seasons after it initially ended, right? They got another season out of
that's what they should
Network and another season out of Disney Plus.
Instead of giving them the Bad Batch, they should have given them their finale season that they were planning.
Yeah. Well, either way, if you were wanting more Clone Wars,
you're right.
You're getting the Bad Batch, Then, of course, in December, we're getting the Book of Boba Fett.
Hell fucking yeah.
Can we talk about how Tamora Morrison went from the only thing I've done is the prequel to I'm in everything.
I know, right?
I mean, good for this guy. Good for
Yeah.
him. He just went from nothing. I mean, I'm not disparaging this man's career. I mean, he's obviously done okay, but he's been out of the, the mainstream spotlight for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kicks in the fucking door by smashing in fucking stormtroopers' faces. And now he's going to be in at least 3 different TV shows.
Hey, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. I'll tell you that.
Dude, the way he used that gaffy stick, I was like, yes,
That's what I'm
daddy.
talking about. He's Scorpion, that one guy. Good
Dude,
Lord.
I know. He get the fuck over, or get over here the fuck out of him. There you go.
By the way, feel free to stop me at any of these titles and spend as much time as you want on any one of them.
I do just want to say, like, who wore it better, Timothy Ophelion or the guy you were talking about who plays all of those?
Let's just
better.
Okay.
I like me a little thick Boba Fett. I'm gonna say.
Yes. But I like it better when he got it where he got his undershirt on and he made it look, instead of him just taking it and throwing it over his.
Yeah, he was like, I'm fucking garage sale Boba Fett here to fuck shit up. Or like Goodwill Boba Fett or whatever.
Nice. But yeah,
when you order your Boba Fett off of Wish.
His Wish order was delivered. He got the slave -2.
Yeah, I mean, once he got better clothes and once he got everything all painted out and everything.
It's those fucking Nar Shaddaa knockoffs, man.
Yeah, you can't trust them.
A seedy underbelly of Nar Shaddaa.
But I will say, Ola Fett definitely had his moments. Like, I mean,
he was. I mean, when is that man not fucking charming and debonair as shit, dude?
No, it's in his contract. He has to be charming in everything he's in.
Yeah.
I think it's because in real life he's not. So.
Well, hey, it could be. Maybe he's just like a really good actor. Hey, you saw how upset he got at Michael Scott, right?
We're calling you out. Come on the cast and prove that you're charming in real life. We're calling you out. Come on.
That's fair.
Hashtag is Will Smith gay? Or, I mean, hashtag is Timothy Oliphant a dick?
Find out season 3, Casters Guild.
That's right.
Our sources say yes.
You heard it here first, folks. World exclusive.
Come on the guild and prove our slander incorrect.
without a cease and desist and legal proceedings, preferably, because
that'll just prove you're a dick.
I mean, you're not wrong though. That definitely, I would get that and be like, wow, this dude really is a dick.
He found our little podcast and sent us a cease and desist. Fuck.
Either he has way more time on his hands than we thought, or his people are really fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
after
I'm really
Book of
excited
Boba
for a lot of those projects.
The cease and desist would consist of, we don't know how you learned about the contract, but
it is consider it Fight Club. You dig? Or you'll be missing your fucking kneecaps, boy. And then it's like, P.S. Protect your neck.
Jesus Christ.
You better check yourself.
After you with a gaffy stick.
Yeah, oh my God. They're gonna be like, you saw that, right? We heard you talk about it.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're good.
We already took down the episode.
Damn it, I really like this one.
It'll be re-uploaded, edited. It'll just be severely edited.
Neuter it, yeah.
Yeah, the entire podcast is, we really like The Mandalorian season 2. Done.
No, we're just gonna, anytime we say Oliphant's name, we'll just dub over it with Grogu.
Yeah. Grogu is charming and endearing and fucking debonair in everything he does.
Because it's in his contract.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on. Speaking of though, I really did being that we're talking about Star Wars and stuff, and specifically like Grogu and the show runnings and stuff like that. I feel like should at least throw out like a little RIP Grant Imahara, for all the work and stuff that he had on projects, specifically with like Yoda, R2, and C3PO, Grogu. That was that hit me. That fucking sucked.
Yeah,
wherever
absolutely.
you are, Grant, rest easy, brother. You gave the world a lot of joy, my man.
We lost.
May the force be with you.
Didn't we
May
lose
the force be with you.
the original Boba Fett last year too?
Yeah, we did. So many great ones.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to get too real. I just wanted to throw that out there because it reminded me of talking about Grogu and stuff.
Everything I've heard about him, he's a great guy who made huge contributions to nerdkind. So definitely shout out.
Definitely bears mentioning.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you letting me take that little soapbox.
Very well.
But on to brighter topics. We have a wealth of projects to look forward to, according to Guildmaster Rick.
So after Book of Boba Fett, date to be announced. We have Mandalorian season 3.
Is that in production right now, or?
I mean, it's definitely been. Everything here has been announced, or they're in talks or in production. Everything on this list.
Book of Boba Fett is coming out before season 3.
Okay.
Right, December. Well, Book of Boba Fett has an announced date, and Mandalorian season 3 does not. Well,
I'm not overall, but in this, like,
I didn't hear what you said, Rick.
Oh, sorry.
Book of Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett has a date-ish, like it's December 2021.
Well,
and Mandalorian season 3 does not.
Well, the Book of Boba Fett is in the Mandalorian slot.
Right. So the whole thing is, what's probably going to happen is they'll do an entire season of Book of Boba Fett, and then we'll see another season of Mandalorian.
They won't be consecutive or I guess parallel or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Running concurrent.
Then also date to be announced on Disney Plus. We've got Ahsoka.
I'm excited.
I love Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like a movie or a mini series or like a full-on series. Oh, it's a series. Never mind. It's a series. But yeah, and apparently we're going to see Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Ahsoka series.
Oh,
they've already cast him.
Mm-hmm.
The other Nicholson.
The other Nicholson.
Not Mads.
Right.
What's his name?
I don't know. This will be like the 4th time I admit to it tonight, but I'm terrible with names, so I can't.
No. I am too.
And in addition to Ahsoka, Favreau is currently developing another spin-off series set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic.
Rangers. That could be cool. We're gonna see like some indoor like swoop bike action. That'd be pretty dope. I always love that. Like the indoor like swoops, bike stuff in Return of the Jedi is super, super dope.
Yeah.
Announced for 2022, we have the Rogue One prequel series, Andor.
No, is it called Andor?
Mm-hmm. Or at least it might be a working title, but that's what they're calling it right now.
I'm not looking
because it's all about Cassian Andor.
Like, I loved Rogue One, don't get me wrong, but like the whole point of Rogue One was to fill in some gaps of the movies. So it's like, do we need something? Do we need a prequel to The prequel?
I'll tell you
Well,
what. I'm excited
well,
for Andor.
Tell me what.
And I am excited for Andor for one reason only.
Is it the wrong reason?
K2SO.
I was gonna say he was like the biggest part of some redeeming qualities. It doesn't need a whole. Excuse me. It doesn't.
I will
need a whole
take
lot
an
of redeeming
entire
qualities.
series of Alan Tudyk K2SO.
Yeah,
I will
Alan,
take it.
if he is continuing the role, which I would assume he probably would be, they have the fat bankroll to pretty much say anybody's like, why wouldn't I?
Not to mention, if Disney says, "Hey, Alan, come voice this chicken," he fucking does it.
Yeah.
So
And he fucking nails it.
yeah.
He went to Juilliard.
That man, he is an angel.
But it's supposed to be a 12-episode series featuring Cassian's spy days with Alan Tudyk as K2SO and Genevieve O'Reilly coming back as Mon Mothma.
I tell you what, I'll go in on it full send if at one point Alan Tudyk K2SO like gets into a situation where he can squeeze in curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Like
Yes.
I'm
yeah. I
in
don't care what happens on any of the other episodes if he says that at any point in time.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you can have my money. I'm in on it full.
Yeah.
And then the exact opposite will happen. I will hate it forever if at some point in time he gets impaled.
Yeah. Because Cassian can't carry him or what, Andor? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Cassian Andor. Yeah.
He can't throw him over, on a net backpack like Chewie could with C-3PO. Like he's good and well fucked if that happens.
Yeah. But we know K2SO makes it through this because he's in Rogue One. So.
Right. Yep.
But that is my one and only reason to be excited for Andor is K2SO.
I didn't even take into account that he would be in it. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I got a new theory, or I'm gonna propose a new like influential character to take the role of Luke in that last scene of Mando season 2. All right. So X-Wing comes in, black robe. You see the glove. The fucking door just gets kicked in, and a fucking like fist comes in, and it's motherfucking Chirrut Imwe, the Wise TM, and he's ready to like take Baby Grogu away forever. I know the timelines probably don't match up, so that's totally fine. But even I'm not that poor at math. But
speaking of motherfuckers that need a prequel show.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, who gives a shit about Cassian? Why? Yeah, Chirrut Imwe was a BAMF. Let's see more about him.
Look, they're doing it. They're okay. They came out with The Mandalorian, and everybody started calling it the Baby Yoda show because nobody cared about Mando. Everybody cared about. They're doing it again with
Mando.
I know. Like those are present company excluded. Like we're talking about your average viewer. We're like, it's the Baby Yoda show, right? They're just doing it again with Andor. They're gonna be. It's the K2SO show.
Oh,
like they're just
right. Oh my god.
Look, they throw something in a wall, it sticks, it works, they do it again. That's Disney. That's Disney, baby. This worked, let's do it again.
You're not wrong. Oh my god, I hate it.
It's gonna be the K2SO show, I'm telling you. All right.
Ain't that
so after that one, we get to go spend some time with my favorite Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan motherfucking Kenobi. Dude, if he doesn't say hello there, I'm gonna be fucking livid.
This is apparently set 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So
wait.
So this is like just post Clone Wars.
Wait. Okay.
Revenge of the Sith.
Trying to get it down.
Yeah, episode 3.
Oh wait, didn't they say original Darth Maul was going to be in there?
Dude, I was just gonna ask, like when you were saying something about where was Boba Fett, or the guy who played Jango and all that. Where would he? I was like, oh my god, where did he go? What happened to Darth Maul?
Whichever one was best friends with Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars, Rex or Cody, I can't remember which one it is.
Cody.
He's supposed to be in it too.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, Tamara Morrison is all over the place.
yeah, no joke.
Well, I do know
you could voice like 30 roles for like, even the Star Wars Ezra series, Rebels. There you go.
I think that was I don't think that was Tamara Morrison doing the voices of the clones.
Oh, okay. So I got you. They all had inflection differences, but I thought, they all sound like similar.
Yeah,
God does a good job.
Something Bradley. I can't remember.
I will tell you, based off of what I'm reading right here, confirmed actors for the series are, of course, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
Nice.
Hayden Christensen.
Oh, it's Dean Bradley Baker.
Dean Bradley Baker. Okay.
As I stated before, we can't let go of the Skywalkers.
I know. Well, okay. I'm gonna take.
It's fair on this one, though. It is fair on this one.
No, I agree. Yeah, you kind of have to when that's the story you're taking. But I'm gonna take one little back step because I talk all this praise and put the expanded universe and like leading up to and during the Mandalorian Wars as like prime Star Wars era, but it also has a little bit of a I can't say it's completely without this whole familial shit, because and the reason I say that is if you're familiar with especially the popular works by like both Bethesda and Obsidian with Old Republic and then Knights of the Old Republic series, so the MMO and then the console or PC series, they had the Shans, which were basically that era's Skywalkers. Technically, that argument could be made. So before I get some hate and some shit thrown my way, I'll admit it. There is that kind of relevance, I guess. But it is only guilty of it that one time that we know of, because that's the only chance it had to do it. But no Skywalkers, really delved into that at that time. They did have Estiel Shan and Bastila Shan, respectively.
All right. So after Obi-Wan, we got another to be announced as far as the date. Leslie Headland, the showrunner for Russian Doll, another Disney Plus. She's getting a Disney Plus series called The Acolyte. The Acolyte will be set is a mystery thriller that will be during like the emerging dark sides of power during the High Republic era. That is like hundreds of years before the Star Wars prequels.
Okay, maybe that's the. Oh wait, so it's not even the Old Republic; it's a High Republic.
Yeah,
or is that the same thing?
I'm not sure if the Old Republic is technically a thing anymore because,
it's all kiboshed with the extended universe, so it does not exist as far as current works of Star Wars are concerned.
This is like their version that we're getting.
Okay.
So
if
this
they
is
incorporate Revan, like, as long as they do him justice, I'm still open to it. I'm not going to immediately shut it down. I'll definitely see if they can. They made it work for Boba Fett. I still loved all that. So, like, if they can do it again with Revan, I'd be down for it.
Well, they're calling the era that this is set in the Golden Era of the Jedi. And it's been reported to have a female protagonist.
Oh, shit. So maybe Bastila Shan.
Is this the one that the neckbeards are getting all upset about online?
Well, if it's got a female protagonist, of course neckbeards get upset. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, don't do we need to pull up do a Twitter search for comments relating to Ghostbusters 2 or anything for you, Baron?
Wait, you know what? Side note, my favorite Ghostbusters. Moving on.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, no comment.
I will say I am very excited, and I know this is off topic, tangential, but I am very excited for this Ghostbusters sequel, I guess we'd call it.
Right, but Paul Rudd's in it, so of course I'm also excited.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Paul Rudd he can do
no wrong. And Finn Wolfhard, and yeah.
I just can't believe that man's in his late 60s and he's still doing work like this.
No shit, really? Paul Rudd.
He hasn't changed since Clueless though, so I don't even know.
He hasn't. He hasn't. And Wet Hot American Summer, none of he hasn't changed a damn bit.
It's weird.
I love him, man. It looks like the same fucking dude that drove Clueless Girl, getting in the car, bitch, we're going shopping.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, so then we've got the next actual movie, the next one to hit theaters, which they've announced for December 22nd of 2023.
Oh,
so we got some time on this one.
And that's what
Rogue
project?
Squadron.
Oh,
they're doing a Rogue Squadron movie.
Rogue Squadron movie.
Okay, wait.
They just put out that Rogue Squadron online console game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing their first movie that they're doing in years is going to be Rogue Squadron.
That's what I'm reading here. To be directed by Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman.
And can we just stick with I don't know, other things that she did? Because she did other things.
For example.
I'm pretty sure that she did a Marvel movie by the name of
really slowly while I look it up on IMDb.
Or she's
I know
doing
your game, Baron.
Marvel movie. No, I was wrong. Look, anything.
I'm just reading this off of the thing. They put the Wonder Woman in brackets, so that's what I said. They put it in the parentheses.
Oh God! Oh no, she's doing Wonder Woman 3 too.
Yeah,
you're doing a Wonder Woman 3. Okay, you know what? No, she did the first Wonder Woman, which I can accept. I didn't mind the first Wonder Woman.
No, I thought
one I thought was pretty good.
I haven't seen 84, but I've heard that absolutely everybody was like.
We can do a whole episode on it, on how much I hate it.
Okay, well, maybe one day we will.
And then we'll get a Baron rant.
Yeah.
Baron's batshit talking corner. Or talking shit bag corner.
But apparently they're taking influence from the games and influence from the books, but this is a totally original story.
Which is fine. I mean, they're taking a very Marvel approach to it, a very Marvel MCU. They're leaving everything on the table, possible source material.
I'm totally open for, because if it did evolve into a project like you were, proposing earlier about an Avengers type saga of films that all tie into these overarching, team ups or interlining movie series that give you that same impact, then I'm fucking all in on that.
Yeah,
if I can give Star Wars that treatment, I'm all fucking in. But if they can get away from the Star Wars for a goddamn minute, all the better.
Which speaking of taking a page from the Marvel handbook, untitled, undated, unconfirmed, but for the next movie after Rogue Squadron,
they better be
Taika Waititi has been tapped to head up the next one.
Ooh. Oh,
so I heard that. We've got an untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars movie.
That makes me excited.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me very excited.
He's kind of the next new thing, isn't he?
He seems like the current, visual media, like prodigy mastermind, or like the next legend in that field. Like, he's the next Steven Spielberg or some shit, like one of those types.
And I firmly believe it's because he's just having fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, to have that series, behind the scenes Mandalorian or making of Mandalorian on Disney Plus as well, and I mean, all the shots that he's in or the little snippets and stuff. He just obviously loves what he does.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, so far, I mean, everything he's been involved in just has been really, really good.
Yeah. Him and Favreau and all of them, Feige. Yeah, they just need to.
I mean, dude,
keep
definitely
pumping
revive
the world with full of what joy they can, because we will gobble it up willingly and gladly. Every little scrap we can get our nubby little hands on, nubby little nerdy hands.
Moving back over to Disney Plus, we got Lando.
Oh,
and that's
now has they talked about is I can't, maybe he would be, but is Donald Glover like involved in that?
It has not been confirmed if we're getting Billy D, if we're getting Donald Glover, if we're getting them both in flashback, flash forward scenes. The only thing that has been confirmed is that Justin Simeon is attached, who was the developer of Dear White People.
Ah, okay, I got you.
So that's the only thing we really know about this one.
Okay. Well, that could definitely be promising. We'll see.
Then another Disney Plus thing we're getting, Star Wars Visions.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Where he went?
Oh. Jesus Christ. I can't.
Wow. Oh my God. Got him.
I'm not going to give any context, but
Visions is going to be a series of 10 short films celebrating Star Wars, created by some of the world's best anime creators.
Oh, so it's Animatrix.
Yeah.
Which could really suit a Star Wars series if done right.
I'm just saying, it's the Animatrix.
No, that was.
They're basically handing it entirely to these.
That could be really cool.
They're handing it entirely to these anime creators because they want to see Star Wars through a different cultural lens.
Dude, okay. And that's already had some successes. Have you seen Batman Ninja?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that shit is awesome. And I'm not like an overall or like huge consumer or fan of anime or whatever. There are certain franchises or series that I've fallen in love with over the years, but I don't like have a big collection or just watch a popular series every month or whatever. But that was always one that I was super in on. The shit. I'm losing the name. Oh my God, I'm totally blanking on the name. Shit.
It's okay. We do that all the time on this cast.
Damn. Okay. Well, we'll come back around to it because I'm sure it'll pop right back to me. But that's okay. Yep. It's gone for now. But maybe we'll pop back.
I mean, going down this list, I think this might be the one I'm most excited for, which actually has me a little disappointed that it's so far down the list because I have no idea when we're actually going to get it. But that written 10 short films, that's pretty cool, and like all done by different anime creators. Like,
oh my God, yeah,
hell yeah! Like I'm so on board. My little Star Wars fan weeb heart pitter patters in anticipation.
Absolutely. Oh no, I remember what I was saying. That it was just that Batman Ninja was really well done, and even though I'm not a huge subscriber to anime, it was even though it definitely took that turn. There was very much an anime overall feel to it. It still had like a really good use of Batman characters and stuff. So they've done that, and recently I've seen them integrate a lot of other cultural stuff. To your point there about like comic book covers, they have alternate covers that they're having anime artists do.
Mhm.
It's really neat.
Even with current anime, a lot of anime creators have shown that they understand American properties really well. Like, honestly, any fan of My Hero Academia will tell you that the people who created that anime understand American comic books fully.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole superhero thing. Like, so if they can do that, I have no doubt in my mind that they'll handle Star Wars correctly and with care, but not treat it with such reverence that they won't put their own spin on it.
Right.
Which is exactly what I want. I want them to put their spin on it, and let's just see some really cool anime lightsaber fights, some mecha anime style TIE fighter X-Wing battles.
Imagine
Like,
if they could do with like General Grievous.
You know what? We'll spend an entire cast talking about what we want out of Star Wars Visions. Oh my god! So another Disney Plus, we're getting a droid story.
Okay.
Which will have R2D2 and C3PO guiding a new hero yet to be introduced on a mission known only to them.
And this is animated, right?
Yes. Well, apparently they're calling it a hybrid of animation and visual effects, which I'm not sure exactly what that means. Yeah.
But I'll hold reservation, or I'll hold out to see. I'll definitely all of these things on the list. I'm on board with checking out at the very least, and in many cases, I'm very very anticipatory of them.
We're just gonna.
It'll most likely be a comedy more than anything. This probably won't be one of the more serious things. You know what I mean? It'll probably be one of those like womp womp type of comedies. But we'll see some cool stuff out of it, I think.
I will just go ahead and put the disclaimer on that, anybody listening, we're on board for all of these things.
Yeah.
Legit. I can't, like, especially with the way Marvel has handled their properties. Like when they first said, "Oh, we're going to do Guardians of the Galaxy," I was like, "Man, this is dumb. This is going to be the stupidest shit ever." And they shoved that down my throat, and I ate my
Man,
word.
did you call it?
God. So anyways, I think that with the people they have running the show now, especially if they keep moving some of the old guard out of Lucasfilm, I think that they're going to find that golden Disney touch on Star Wars. So I fully trust anything they put out until they hurt my feelings.
Let's not forget
Let us hope and pray.
that before Last Jedi even hit theaters, that Lucasfilm has tapped Rian Johnson for an entire new trilogy.
Okay, I was hoping you'd bring this up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I've been very vocal about my dislike of Rian Johnson's entry into the Star Wars universe. However, I've always said that if they were going to do that, give Rian Johnson the entire trilogy, or let the other guy,
JJ,
yeah, JJ Abrams, or let him have the whole trilogy. Don't break up the vision halfway through, and let someone else with obvious creative
differences,
ideas, and just ideas, a creative being. We're going to throw them in the middle of someone else's vision and let them. That's why so many people walk out of Marvel shit, because you have these directors and they're like, "Oh, I have these great ideas," and Marvel's like, "Yeah, it's great, but you're going to do it this way," and they're like, creative differences walk out. And
Yeah.
you know what? I get it. I don't blame them at all. But at the same time, I don't blame Marvel for keeping such a heavy hand on their story.
Right. Which honestly is what they're going to do with Star Wars from here on out.
Which is what they should. Which is what they should.
But that's like the failing that happened with, the 7, 8, and 9, being that it switched hands like it did. I feel like that proves your point. Yeah. That further just makes that, that screams very loud the very valid points that you're echoing there, sir.
Now,
we'll see what Rian Johnson can do with an entire trilogy on his own.
Right. Do I think that Rian Johnson's a great storyteller? Yes. Do I think he's a great director? Yes. Do I think that he walked into episode 8 and attempted to slap his dick down on it because he wanted to make some kind of impact and make this movie his own, and then afterwards handle it very, very, very poorly in a very condescending and
belittling way?
Yes, he did. And it was horrible, and it was, I think, bad for Star Wars. Am I excited to see what he's going to do with these 3 movies? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That excellent points all around. I can't disagree with any of that.
Yeah. All you think like that was supposed to be like? You think that Snoke thing was his way of just being like, fuck whatever you wanted to do. Like, I'm just gonna do
100% was. 100%.
And like that is such that is, and that's the most dickish move I think you could pull.
They did that with Snoke. They did that with Rey's parents. They were like, your parents were nobodies. That entire movie was whatever it was you were trying to do. Fuck that.
Oh my God. Yeah, it really did. I hadn't stopped to really consider it probably since we talked about it last time, but in that manner. But
it's honestly started at the lightsaber toss.
Yeah, I think you're you're right. You're so fucking right. Why am I so
It started at the lightsaber toss. Like Rey reached out with that lightsaber at the end of that first movie, and the first thing they did in the next movie was Luke took it and threw that shit. And like that was 100% like them showing us everything about that first movie. Fuck it.
Yep. Oh my God. Revelations that should have came ages ago, in a galaxy far, far away, and a long, long time ago. Damn, son. I'm 2000 and late.
just like they tapped Taika Waititi to get his own project, we've got an untitled Kevin Feige movie.
What?
Yep. Kevin Feige is will be directing a new Star Wars movie, untitled, anything, undated. Like, we have no idea what he's going to be doing. Obviously won't have anything to do with this trilogy that Rian Johnson is doing, but he's getting a movie.
Okay. Well,
that. Has he ever directed anything?
Kevin Feige?
Yeah. Hasn't he just been a producer on everything?
I can't recall his actual credit. I don't know.
He's always been a producer. He was even a producer in the X-Men movies.
Maybe he'll get more of a producer role on this thing. I don't know. I mean, like, we're getting pretty far out here. So like all of this is still like in talks. So like maybe he'll still be picking his director. Who knows?
That's a fair point. They're just putting whoever's highest on the totem pole currently confirmed, I guess.
Yeah.
Up front.
And now we're getting into rumor territory here, but there's rumors that they have tapped J.D. Dillard for his own Star Wars movie. Along with J.D. Dillard to direct and Matt Owens to write.
Okay.
J.D. Dillard, you might know from Slight and Sweetheart, and Matt Owens was a writer on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Maybe they're doing TV stuff.
It says movie. It says here the movie, and that I mean, I'm not big on Twitter, but they say J.D. Dillard all but confirmed it himself on Twitter. But I mean, like I said, that's 100% rumor. Like there's nothing confirmed out of Disney for that one. And that, my friends, is the end of my list.
Which, let's just point out that that's a hell of a list.
Yeah.
So far without even jumping
good God.
into the theories and conjecture.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. A couple little segues and stuff.
And we could totally go back. And again, just point out how influential The Mandalorian has been to the Star Wars machine.
Absolutely. I mean, they continue to nail it with these like huge, like 5-star guest appearances and shit. Bill Burr, I absolutely love.
Okay.
And I love him in Mandalorian. I love Richard Iwade as the bot. I can't remember his name. But it's just it's so fucking great.
Yeah. I will say this. Bill Burr, I'm not a fan of. As far as a comedian. I'm also not a fan of his attitude towards Star Wars. Again,
I'm not either.
You're absolutely allowed not to like something, but it seems like he goes out of his way to disrespect the movies, the genre, and the fans of said property. So it's like, I'm not a fan of you, Bill Burr. However, he was great in Mandalorian season 1, and then he upped the game in season 2. It's like, wow,
yeah, he played
respect
so fucking well.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, how dare you hate this property so much, but do so much for it at the same time?
Right. Dude, I know it is like very ironic. It's almost like satirically perfect that he does shit on it or has in the past. I don't know if his attitude's changed any since he's worked with the projects and shit, but like I've not looked into any of that, and I'm not on social media. I haven't been in like fucking a long time. Well, outside of like following certain fan pages on Twitter or something for like, my hockey or the, Nintendo or PlayStation, whoever, stuff like that.
Go follow
what's that?
I said, go follow Captain.
Yeah, well, I mean, that too. I'm fairly certain. I'll make sure, but I could swear that I am. But shame on me if not.
To anybody listening.
Yeah, you too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Whatever they say.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, that terminology. Whatever the Twitches are using these days, the Twitch kids. Fuck. But in any case, yeah, I don't 100% agree with all of his comedy. I do think that he has a couple funny bits, and I've liked a lot of the projects he's done with like Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle is like one of my, if not my top favorite comedian in the world. I think he probably is, and I've met the dude. He's super awesome. I love Dave, and he's and so I like a lot of the shit they do like that. But when I saw Bill Burr in there, and then like I said, Richard Iwade, like the moment he had a first line of dialogue, I was like, no, like, oh, dude, I was so geeky happy. I was like, I was like Moss, from IT Crowd, and I had to get my bigger glasses.
I think Disney took a look at Star Wars, and they were like, we bought Marvel and we turned it into this, and we bought Star Wars and it's just not doing what we wanted to do. And they tapped John, they tapped Mr. Favreau, and they said, hey, do you think you could Marvel our Star Wars? And we got this
you
Disney
use Star
Plus
Wars,
thing.
Bros?
we got this Disney Plus thing. Do you think you could Marvel our Star Wars? And he was like, let's find out. And they did The Mandalorian, and it was so goddamn successful that now they're just going to Marvel our Star Wars. That's
Well,
what's
it's
going to
funny,
happen,
too,
and I am on board.
He did
Does a
this.
Sarlacc give a mean like blowjob or like yeah, I can fucking Star Wars. Like,
Well, it's funny too because it's like, who would have thought that Jon Favreau could come into like this already established franchise, take a normal dude in a set of armor, and turn him into a superhero?
yeah,
Wait,
I mean he gave him like the Iron Man treatment, which I know is the I see the wires, man. It computes. I may be on a delayed connection sometimes, not quite dial up, like, but give this old bear, give Grizz a little, good grief. Okay, GGG.
I just think it's funny that he essentially just made the same movie.
What was his fucking like power source heart? What was the Mando's heart?
The arc reactor.
You think
Grogu.
his arc reactor was Grogu? Yeah, I was gonna say it would like
Grogu.
Yeah.
Proof
That's-
proof that Iron Man has a heart. It's proof that Mandalorian has a heart. Grogu.
Oh shit, dude, Rick, you make so. I'm gonna just start calling you Revelation Rick because you just fucking breaking so many fucking like groundbreakings in my mind palace
say
this
something
evening.
so brave.
Dude, thoughts and prayers. Oh my god. No, dude, that's fucking genius though. Man, I fucking miss talking to you, dude.
Yeah, the crisis has definitely put some space between us, but like gotta love Casters for giving us an excuse to get together.
Yeah, no, true that 100%. And know that, I was gonna say consequences. Circumstances, thank you rather, may prevent a regular being able to, hang out and get together. But it is like I think I probably said something last week or last time I was on, but it fucking does me good to talk to you guys, especially about this shit. It's fucking, it's a good time chit chatting like, with good people. So I always appreciate the having me on and stuff. It's always good to hear from you dudes and talk about some valid ideas.
I really think that this is 95% of the reason why we even did this in the first place.
Well, I'll tell you what, we decided we were going to do this podcast before the crisis really started.
Sure.
And if not for the crisis, I don't think it would have carried as far. But honestly, like the Casters Guild, the reason we still do it is it's therapy for me and Baron, at least. Like we need
I get that.
to get on here and talk, and if it means we can have friends on from time to time and have them as guests and invite them into the guild hall and knock a few back and talk about nerdy shit, everybody needs a little bit of escapism. And if we get one person out there who listens to it and gets the same thing out of it that we do, success.
Dude, 100%. Could not have said it better. Beautiful, beautiful words. Very true. I agree. That's all that, it's like I say, talking to you guys is therapy is a good way to put it. It's refreshing or recharging, is good for the spirit or whatever, however you want to look at it. Yeah, it's good stuff. And I agree, like listening or finding a podcast, hopefully this one to some, as you mentioned, that, kind of clicks with your interests or people that you're like, I could see myself being friends with a dude like Baron or Rick. Certainly not that other fucker that comes on occasionally, but but I kid.
Much too Baron-like for me.
Hey, some people are into that, Rick.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I have the internet.
Yeah. But so yeah, I agree. It's awesome to be able to share that amongst ourselves, and hopefully, like you mentioned, if it gets out to anybody else, then all the better.
So okay, we've talked a little bit about what we want out of Star Wars. Are there any theories or any things that you really want out of that massive list that I just mentioned? Anything that you're like, please give me blank out of blank?
Well, because of Mandalorian, I binged all of Clone Wars and all of Rebels. So, I mean, I need me some fucking Ezra Bridger.
Yes, please.
And apparently, I mean, he's apparently been cast. So we know it's coming. But yeah, I mean, I want some closure on this. I would love to see. Let's bring Freddie Prinze Jr. in as a Force Ghost too. Let's do it. I would love to see this stuff.
We'll probably see him in Ahsoka, right?
In a what? Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. As I hope that Ezra is incorporated with like Ahsoka's storyline, or like even if that's his introduction, like I hope that he comes to and I agree with you as well. I mean, the guy. I mean, they mocapped, even facially rather in Fallen Order. The gosh, I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays Cal Kestis. But that guy has done a lot of other. He was in Gotham as Jerome, or like their lead up to Joker and whatnot. But he did pretty well there, and at least a lot of the early scenes that I saw. I didn't see the conclusion, but. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, like Cal Kestis was such a cool character too, and he had to kind of make his own way. He had help along the way with the the ex Jedi, I guess you'd say. Yeah, but he had to make a lot of his own way, and I think he, as a character, had a lot of strength from that, and I think that it makes for a compelling character arc, and they should incorporate. And I mean, there's the crossover between his master and God, I'm blanking on his name. The guy with Ezra and Kanan.
Kanan was the master guy, right?
Right, yeah, the guy on the ship. Zeb.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Cal Kestis' master and Zeb are the same race, and they're like the last of their kind of, until certain things, but as far as they know, they are, and such like that. And I think that could very well be worth exploring more than not to beat a dead horse like Rick said, but another Skywalker story. Just saying.
Yeah. So
I think it would definitely be dope to wrap into like Ahsoka and stuff too.
Oh, the character's name is it Carrie or Sari Junda?
Ah, yes, Sarah Junda.
Sarah Junda. Okay, that's what it is. And it's played by Deborah Wilson, who is amazing.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, did excellent job.
Oh my God, yeah. Every line was very, very, like, I think with the intended emotion. There was nothing like, you talk about like Final Fantasy X style voiceovers. Nothing like that. It was all very, very well done.
Really felt her plight. I mean, like she.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't come off as hokey or anything like that. Whole like I gave up the Force because this thing happened, and a lot of times when they do things like that in movies, you're like, you gave up the Force because the script told you to. No, you felt. I gave up the Force because thing happened and like I couldn't take it. Like I 100% love that storyline.
Agreed.
Now, Baron, you said you just realized.
Oh, I just realized who Deborah Wilson is, and she started out as like a comedian, and I didn't realize how much stuff she's done lately. Because I have had a disconnect. Well, like she was in Mad TV, which is one of my favorite sketch comedy things, and then I just didn't see her in anything because she was doing voice stuff. So here I'm thinking, I just haven't seen her in anything lately, and then I see her in this, and I'm like, you know what? I know that face. I don't know from where, but I like her. I like her as an actress. And then it comes out, it's her. This is amazing.
Thank God. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm so happy, Baron, I am so happy for you right now because I'm not the only one who had a groundbreaking mindfuck and like got
yeah.
to have that like, brain gasm of like, oh, new information. I made the connection. Like,
I mean, what is it? What is it with the Mad TV guys and going on to do like mad fucking voice acting?
I don't know. A lot of people have gone on to do. I mean,
maybe they've
Bobby
got maybe
Lee
there's a
has done a
network.
lot of comedy stuff, but he's done voice stuff too, hasn't he? And I mean, he's done all
Phil?
sorts of sort of little cameos.
Phil Lamar.
Oh, Phil Lamar. Fuck. Ooh.
He's Mad TV.
Amazing fucking voice actor and like, yeah. Maybe there's a networking thing there. Maybe like, they're like, you were on Mad TV with me. You should come be a voice actor with me and do these projects or something like that. Or, maybe there's a networking thing there that's going on.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
That could be very cool.
I don't think they've all gone on to do stuff like that, but I definitely know like a lot of the big workers have moved on to do a lot of fucking work. But it's just funny that, Deborah Wilson even does a lot of Star Wars stuff, which okay, I can't keep going back to Phil Lamar because he literally does everything.
Oh my god, I know, but I love Phil Lamar.
Like, you know how he played Marv in Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
He did his voice too. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my god, really?
All right.
Sorry.
So the character that you guys keep talking about, because I have not watched all of Clone Wars and Rebels and all that good stuff. I know. I'm sorry.
No.
Big face. I'm sorry. The character that you guys are talking about, who you want to keep seeing, who you want to see more of.
Oh, Ezra Bridger.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, would you be satisfied with just him being in Ahsoka, or would you want it to be one of those 2 untitled movies?
No, I'd be fine.
Yeah, I think I'm good either way.
I mean, I think for a hot second, I did legit think that he was going to be the finale Mandalorian Jedi.
I was holding out hope. I was kind of holding out hope because I had made that that theory had occurred to me as well.
I mean, it occurred to a lot of people were like,
So, I would want to see Cal Kestis as one of these 2 unnamed movies.
Oh yes, no, yes.
100%. I would love that.
I was going to bring this up. I want him to get involved in the live action stuff so badly. I want him to become one of the main players in this new Star Wars universe that they're building.
Yep.
100% agree.
However, I do not think that they are.
No, I don't.
I hate to say it, but I don't think he's ever going to see live action.
Missed opportunity.
I would love it if we're going to continue with this Marvel analogy. If Mando is the Iron Man of Star Wars, I would love Cal Kestis to be the Captain America.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down for that.
So here's my question. Would you rather his movie be the why can I not pronounce the name with my goddamn American tongue? Taika Waititi. Would you rather be the Taika Waititi movie, or would you rather be the Kevin Feige movie?
I think both would definitely be good in their. I don't think there's any doubt that both would be good. I just think they would be very. Obviously, both of those people have very strong visions, and they're very unique, and so they're going to end up being likely 2 totally different products. I guess it depends on your source material, which way you. I don't know. I guess I'd go Taika because I love what he's done with like Mandalorian and stuff like that as well. Like just the visionary style, all that kind of stuff. The look of it, the feel of it, the ambiance, the environment.
Keep in mind too that it's usually a bit silly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that lends itself to Rebels and that story.
The Rebels and stuff, yeah, but
Right.
Cal Kestis, I don't think that it would work.
Oh well, okay, yeah. If we're talking, that's right. Okay, you're talking strictly.
Yeah, I
Cal.
don't
okay.
think Cal Kestis. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think Cal Kestis would work in like a Thor Ragnarok style.
No.
But Feige has done plenty of movies that
yeah.
Cal Kestis would fit right into.
Yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
God, Baron, you're a
I
genius,
definitely
too.
can fucking bring in the Russos for his movie.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm
The
down
Russos
for that.
work perfectly.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Didn't they do
So
Winter Soldier too? Or no? Yeah, didn't they do Winter Soldier or Civil War?
I think so.
I don't know.
They would be good for one of those movies, I think.
I could definitely see it.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. But they're gonna make their money, so they'll get it done one way or the other. Are we
saying that the ideal movie for the Taika Waititi project would be Rebels?
That would be the argument I would make. Yeah.
Yeah.
My accidental reverse opinion. Yeah. that I came up with originally. Yeah. No. Yeah. Baron quickly, educated me. Because I did, but that is like fantastic and fits, I think, perfectly. That is an amazing pull. Yeah, I think they would be perfect for those respective series adaptations to movie or like a TV series.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No. Yeah.
Live action or otherwise.
He's also, he's got that ensemble experience as well.
Right. Yeah.
He directed. You know what? We're just going to go off the character names: Thor and the Hulk and Loki and Valkyrie and
right.
Jeff Bloom, for God's sakes.
God, Jeff Goldblum.
He's got the ensemble down. So if he was going to do a movie, then yeah, a Rebels style kind of thing would be great.
Yeah, I agree.
He would have been great with Rogue One too.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, you look at the IG-11 unit and Mando's like kind of quips back and forth, and you think about like, okay, now that style between Kanan and KS or not Kanan, but Cassian and K2SO, I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm down for that for 40-minute episode every other week or whatever.
Right. I can do this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential from all of the projects that you went down the list on. I mean, there's endless things to anticipate or be excited about as a fan of Star Wars.
For you being a fan of the extended universe and the Old Republic and all that, I'd love to hear what you'd like to see out of the Acolyte, which is like their High Republic, their version of the Old Republic.
What I want to see out of it would be one of two things. It's almost like a difficult, I guess, stance for me to take because I'm conflicted about it. But like, I either would want them, I either hope that they either take the impactful characters and like pay attention to the source material for if they're taking like inspiration and stuff like that, and maybe just have little allusions to it and things like that if they're not gonna, I guess, try to recreate it, or just, I guess, a straight up adaptation versus a recreation. But in any case,
I think Baron made a good point that they're going to do the Marvel thing where like everything will be on the table for source materials.
Yeah,
like,
I think you're
they
right.
might have thrown out the extended universe, but that doesn't mean they won't tap into it.
Right, and I guess they kind of have, as we've seen recently, they are very clever on coming up with convenient ways to make those transitions just be okay, and so and make sense in a way. So interesting, right. And I don't doubt that they could do it. I just hope that they either portray it with nods and legitimate, nuances to reflect it, or they just make their own new way about it. Because I don't want it to be done wrong. I don't want what I loved about it to be shit on. Does that make sense? Like, I either want them to do it in a way that like alludes to it or nods to it in a good or cool manner, or if they want to just kind of
Or just
repurpose those characters because they technically own them anyway, and so fuck it. Like, you know, if they want to just throw in Revan and Bastila Shan or whoever, you know, like, you know, that's cool too, as long as, again, you know, they don't just completely shit on those characters, I guess. I don't know. I just don't want what I loved about it to be, because they wrote it out, to your point, and so, but I do believe that it is likely on the table. So I'd love to see it, as long as it's just not, I don't know, as long as it's not Tobey Maguire dancing down the street in Spider-Man 3 cringe. It is, you know, that's, I think, my barometer at this point for it. I don't want it to be that.
That's fair.
But I am looking forward to it. I'll definitely consume what they put out for it. I'll definitely give it a shot. I always like to keep open, you know, about stuff like that. I'll view it and make my own opinion on it. You know, the whole initially comic movies and stuff like that getting shit on, things like, you know, on Rotten Tomatoes or other critics things. I don't like to not let that deter me from at least viewing it and making my own, you know, kind of determination on it.
All right. Star Wars Visions. Are there any creators who you want to see them tap for Star Wars Visions? Because you were getting 10, and it's going to be some of some of anime's top creators.
James Gunn, anime all the way.
All right.
I don't know.
You know, I'm not really familiar with anime creators by name, but
I was gonna say kind of the same. I'm not.
Whoever you could say, whoever created blank, I'd like to see them do something with Star Wars.
You know what?
Cowboy Bebop.
Tap Ghibli. Oh man, can you imagine like a nice, soothing, like Star Wars?
Oh my god, what a fucking pull! Hell yeah.
Here's my list of 3. Okay, Ghibli, like Studio Ghibli immediately. I want to see Studio Ghibli do Star Wars, right? Here's how I see that project. It wouldn't have to be a porg, but take like a cute little animal like a porg and do like a little porg story where like there's something going on in the background, but it is not the main focus of the story. Like the main focus of the story is this cute little Star Wars creature and like just trying to like get lunch or something like that. You know? Yeah, give me that out of Studio Ghibli.
Okay, yeah.
Show me an Akira Toriyama Star Wars story.
Yes.
And like a lot of people are like, oh, it's just Dragon Ball. Like, fuck you, go play Dragon Warrior and tell me he wouldn't make a great Star Wars story.
No, yeah, totally.
Dragon Quest, is oh my god, I love that series.
Yeah, I still remember it as Dragon Warrior because that was the first title in America on the NES. But you're right, it's Dragon Quest now.
No, well, I mean, you know, whether you call it Squaresoft, Square Enix, you know,
yeah,
same thing.
And then whoever the creator behind My Hero Academia is, because they obviously understand a lot of American stuff already anyway, like I was saying earlier, where they understand American comic books. So they probably have some insight into Star Wars as well. And I'd love to see them do something.
I will throw in Demon Slayer, the people who do Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Only because like there's a lot of awesome sword work in there, and the way they do it is really badass. The way they do the elements and stuff when they use their swords, and there's animation that goes with it, so I can see them doing a lot of badass sword, like lightsaber stuff.
Yeah.
I can definitely say that I would love to see the Attack on Titan people do it.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
And then only because only because I just started watching this, and I love their animation style, and it's like they're doing a whole season. And have you ever watched? I mean, I know Brandon, you said that that's not really you're not really familiar with like creators and stuff, but have you ever watched like an anime and it's been okay animation throughout the entire series, and then they get to the finale and it's like you guys just dumped like millions of dollars into this finale, and it's beautiful. What's happening right now?
Yeah.
I'm watching an anime called Jobless Reincarnation. Every episode they do is like a finale episode. It's beautiful, beautifully done. And
Wow.
I would love to see that kind of work go into an episode of Visions.
Hell yeah. I mean, for me personally, like I said, I'm not a huge, connoisseur, if you will, weeb of anime. But there are, like I mentioned, a couple of series that really connected with me. And for me, two immediately, I think, come to mind for my picks on this particular kind of segue or whatever, or project or cross of the cultures, if you will. But I like the idea of one of these plots surrounding Jedi and things like that in the styling of like Samurai Champloo. And then
Yeah.
like I think it would really fit or translate well for additional Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett projects to have it in the stylings of Cowboy Bebop.
Isn't that the same people?
Is
Isn't
it?
They do have similar animation styles, but I don't think it's the same people. I could
Okay.
be wrong, but I don't think it's the same people. I will say Cowboy Bebop
But those are my
is
two
essentially.
favorite series.
I mean, Cowboy Bebop is basically a
Other than
smuggler.
Dragon Ball.
It is the same guy.
Holy shit, is it?
Same
That's
guy.
so
Well, then,
cool.
yeah.
No
He also-
wonder
There you
why
go.
they're both my
He
favorite.
also did Space Dandy.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't
So this guy
watch
could
that
definitely
one, but
do.
Oh yeah.
I know of it.
Definitely. The fight scenes alone. Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
He could definitely do a Star Wars story. I mean, like Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy, they're basically just smugglers in space.
Yeah. Well, all
He
the
just-
different like unique situations, with different types and variations of weapons that they eloquently and so beautifully, animated, especially at the end of that series, Samurai Champloo, that is, where like Ronin Jean is fighting that one samurai, and then Mugen's facing off against that crazy asshole with the chained like scythes or whatever.
Mhm.
And like it's just so many crazy different bends, and the way that he animates it just really fucking sold me on that whole bit. But I would love to see, there's so many different unique styles of lightsabers, and with a lot of these new adaptations, they're kind of exploring those with like the Inquisitors and even like Ahsoka Tano and whatever Darth Maul's apprentice's name was. This is something, or well, shit. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think she was one of the Silent Sisters, I believe. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think that would really lend itself well. The way that he would even do like the katana glints off of each other. I think that they would find a really unique and really visually appealing way of animating lightsaber battles and stuff. And that's a really kind of cool to me. I didn't know that, but again, groundbreak, mind blown. That they are the same animator for that series. That's crazy.
And then I'll just throw in, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but I'll throw in, let's say, just 'cause I don't watch a lot of mecha anime. I can't think of too many, but so we'll just say whoever does Gundam Wing. Let's see them do
Sure.
something with some X-Wings and TIE fighters and
Oh,
yeah.
that would be
yeah.
dope.
Mhm.
Oh my god, yeah, like the gosh, think of like
almost like a Rogue Squadron thing, but
Duo, the guy who
not Rogue
piloted the
Squadron.
Death Scythe, and like think of that like to me, now that you mention that to me is like Empire and like Star Destroyer and like like
Exactly.
Heroes. Gundam is more like more like like your rogue or not rogue squadron, but rebel ships and bases and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it would lend itself well.
Yeah, let's get a whole. I mean, if we're getting 10 short stories, you can really hyper focus on certain things. And honestly, the space battles from Star Wars didn't get a whole lot of love in the most recent trilogy, and they could use a little bit more love.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
All right, Baron, you want to throw a bow on this thing?
Wow. God damn. I feel like we could talk for at least 8 more hours about all this.
At least easily. Oh, they don't
We'll
carry
have plenty
over.
to
I'm gonna
talk
use my
about.
guild decree real quick.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Guild decree. Anytime we discuss Star Wars, you are to refer to me as Grizz the Wise.
Sure. Never thought about using guild decrees to get titles, but that works.
That's the throwback, man. You remember that whole
It is. Yeah.
that whole thing we had about Darth Plagueis? The Wise.
The Wise.
That's that episode 1 pull for you, or season 1 pull for you.
Nice.
But there you go. Sorry to interrupt you there on your bow.
No, you're fine. I'm just thinking
Your
about
bow rapping.
Guild decree. Favreau is marveling our Star Wars. Guild decree.
what is it
You
again?
know what? I'll accept that.
He is marveling our Star Wars.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
I
wrong.
didn't expect any pushback. Just it's a thing, and it's something we should be acknowledging. Favreau is marveling our Star Wars.
You know what? You've convinced me of that. And I mean, like, again, I think I hadn't really ever thought about it beforehand, but the way you so eloquently slapped me in the face with that little sticky note of information, it really opened my eyes, man.
Yep.
And I am 100% okay with it.
Me too. You can slap me in the face with a sticky note anytime.
Yeah, I haven't really been guild decree lately.
I mean, like season 2 is pretty sparing on him.
Yeah, I mean, I just haven't had need for them. I think on the revisits, I haven't needed them. I've already used my guild decrees.
Yeah.
Well, you're a guild master. I'm sure you can. You'll find a use for them.
You're right.
Just throw them in the storeroom for now.
Yep. Just throw it in the vault. Somehow, throughout the course of this entire conversation, this extensive conversation, this conversation of revelations and wonder and speculation, we have avoided all of the politically volatile conversations that we could have gotten into. And I'm rather proud of us for that. I'm sure we all have our opinions on things. And I'm glad that
I did resist, I will admit.
I'm glad that we could keep it to what it was, because if that door was open, I would have kicked it open and would never have stopped. But we kept it good. We kept it to fantasy. We kept it to fun. We kept it to imagination. And I'm very proud of us. And I can't wait to see what we do in season 3, because based off that list, we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yes, and another list for what will be coming out after that.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it.
Very much for tuning in. Thank you once again, Grizz the Wise, for being on.
Why, thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks, gents, for
if
having
anybody
me.
Likes what you have said, can they find you anywhere on the internet?
Currently, like I said, I'm a little spare on social media, but currently I am at that Brandon B37 on Twitter.
Perfect. And keep an eye out. We might be seeing some more of him around the guild hall, either on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com about your Star Wars theories about the upcoming projects and things you'd like to see.
Also, find us on Facebook. Find us on Twitter. We're under Casters Guild.
Find us on all the socials. Links will be in the description. and we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. May the force be with you.
And also with you.